Okay, we're at 680 Park Ridge Hanger Clinic. The brush comes all the way, the vegetation, trees and bushes are actually protruding heavily onto the neighboring property. There's several tons of, well, at least a ton of vegetation to be removed and trash to be removed. Getting a good look at the way it currently is. Vegetation actually goes all the way behind the power box. There's a huge piece of debris someone had dropped off in the bushes months, last year sometime. It has to be removed. That's for that one, and that's a special case. I'd estimate repairing all that and hauling off the debris to be 8 hours. Okay, a one-time charge of 8 hours, and then we will do the front lawn, including edging and killing any weeds, trimming the bushes and the small trees that are still alive, and then once a year using weed and feed to return it so that it's like grass again. Oops, go ahead. We're coming all the way over to the other side. And we're doing all this, trimming the trees, making sure they don't turn into bushes, hauling off any debris, killing any vegetation coming up through the cracks. Property line ends here. We'll actually mow and edge that part. We will clear a walk path to the back there and remove the debris there, so that you can notice they're tagging and stuff back there. We'll trim that up a bit, remove the debris, and we'll trim all the bushes so they're uniform. Kill all the weeds that are coming up. Make sure that the trimming includes access. The first time to do this, the front apron area, I'm not talking about the left side where it needs major work. The right side looks like we've only got maybe 4 hours on this right side to get that back so it's usable. Cut a path in there, trim the trees and the bushes, get it back so you can get around back there. Okay, that'd be a one-time 4-hour thing there. Then the normal grass cutting and edging and tree trimming and hedge trimming for the front Ponderosa Park entrance area. We're looking at that would take 4 hours a month. Okay, month to month. And like I said, it includes a weed and feed and hauling off debris and doing the hedges and spraying or killing all the weeds coming up through the cracks. Now we're going on to actual the property address is 680. We want to clear that mailbox so that there's walk around distance of at least 3 feet behind it and to the sides of it. We'll haul off the big box during that that first 8-hour work on that side to get everything back into the property line and control it. Going to need to deal with all the stuff growing up through the cracks, all the stuff, all the weeds growing up through all the beds. We'll clean out the garbage stalls. Again, trim the bushes there. I would say for month to month, this would be 2 hours for this address. We'll trim the trees. We'll discuss trimming the trees. I'm going to leave trimming the trees separate, except the first time we'll get it so they're not on top of the buildings. We'll discuss that as a separate thing, because it's only going to be done twice a year. Depends on the type of tree. And make sure there's no weeds growing up through the fire equipment. Now that's free of debris. So I'm looking again at that. We're once we get it under control, I'm thinking 3 hours a month, an hour and a half twice a month. Okay, so we end up here. We're at 682, I believe it is. Again, tons of weeds growing up through everything. After we initially get see, they did cut this back at some point. That's nice. That's usually not done anywhere. But we'll make sure this is clear, make sure there's headroom out, at least make sure the tree doesn't turn into a bush. Make sure there's a walk path through here. That all the hedges will be trimmed at the curb line. You can't even see the curb line, but it's back here about 2 feet. They'll be trimmed to the curb line so the parking is returned to its original size. Once it's put under control, that address is 2 hours a month. And we'll haul off the debris during the first things. None of the quotes include planting new vegetation. Planting new vegetation will be a separate order. We'll trim so that the dumpsters so the vegetation does not encroach on the dumpsters. Clean up the trash around. We're on now to the 84 address. Again, some of this stuff needs a hell of a lot of TLC for a few months. Again, get the tree so it starts looking like a tree again. This has been trimmed at some point in the last 6 months. That's not the norm, and that was 84. Again, a couple hours a month after we get the initial abatement going. We'll trim any existing hedges. Make sure the trees are not blocking the lights or the walkways, and ditto for the hedges. They'll be cut back to the curb, inside edge of the curb. We got plants growing up through the fire equipment and through the backflow. I must have been doing that for quite a while because they have the backflow checked pretty often. That'll be trimmed. He's trimmed. This is 86. Again, get the tree off the building. If dead leaves go up on the roof, it damages the roof. So we don't want to accumulate. I'm not quoting going up on the roof and cleaning off the roof. It can be done, but it's not this quote. Again, we trim the walkways to the inside of the curb so they have free access. Then we get the, back there, that'd be trimmed. Not going to plant any new vegetation, but we'll get the weeds out of the beds. This has recently been trimmed. This was sticking out 5 feet and sticking out about right where I am right now. And we go on here. That's got to be trimmed way back to the curb. There's a lot of removal to be done there, and they'll be cut down to the level of the window. You should be able to see over the top of those through the window. And again, not planting any new vegetation. These have to be cut way back. That's going to be a serious pain in the ass to get started. The vegetation is kind of half vine and half thorn bush. It's difficult to, it's time consuming. I said not difficult. It's just time consuming. Cut away in front of security lights. Cut away from the dumpsters so that they don't encroach on the dumpsters. Square all this stuff away, remove trash and debris. Get it cut back to the inside of the curb. No planting of new stuff. Trim down to the bottom level of the window. Dead vegetation is a separate ticket item. This is 688. We're trim to the inside. Remove any weeds that are growing. Then clean debris out of the not flower beds, but you know what I mean. Make sure all the fire equipment is clear of debris. Trim it off to the inside of the wall. This debris be removed free of charge. This will be returned to being a tree. The separate tree trimming thing I'll have to discuss. We'll remove debris like that. This actually has a 10-foot weed, and that's a weed. Pretty sure it's a weed. Hard to tell, but it's 10 feet, and it's blocking, starting to block the fire equipment there. This goes all the way past the curb lines. Someone has opened this, I guess, to see whether they're going to steal anything. Who the hell knows? Don't know where the key is. That's not on top of it. Trim back the inside of the line. Got huge weeds growing up through the crack between the curb and the parking lot. Just a field of weeds. Another field of weeds. Overgrown, couple feet. Has to all be cut back. Return the tree so it kind of starts looking like a tree. Pull the weeds out of it. This is 690. Go back here and take a look at this. Oh, I better take a peek back here. Hang on. That's just overgrown and full of a lot of weeds that be dealt with. That needs to be trimmed back. This unit here is got more dead vegetation, not replacing that in the quote, but we'll knock back the weeds on the outside here to 0. If there's no vegetation, we'll disable that sprinkler so it doesn't continue to grow. Again, we have some bushes that need to be heavily abated.
How's it going?
Good. Cut all this back. That's grown out several feet. A lot of weight has to be removed. Now that now that the summer's starting to kick in, it's going to get heavier and heavier and more expensive. That needs to be trimmed. Any weeds back there will be dealt with. I guess we'll walk through here. Yeah. I don't get rabies. Yeah. Wow. This has probably been touched for years. We will remove weeds. I'm not sure what's weeds and what's not weeds, but it has irrigation. We'll at least abate it to, so there's distance between the walls and the vegetation. And so it leaves the water drain, the water runoff clear. This whole big area here is going to take a minimum because of the amount of vegetation we're going to have to remove. Minimum of 8 hours to get rid of all that. Not planting anything new, but we'll abate the weeds. Green weeds will disappear. Again, cracks will be weeds growing out of cracks will be dealt with. Be cut down to the windows again, be cut away from the power box and get it all the way to the side of the power box, all the way to the inside of the curb. We're on 692. Again, we'll get rid of any weeds. We'll not plant anything new under the maintenance quote. Cut 682 back to the inside of the curb to get the parking area increased in size. Get rid of the weeds growing up. Make sure there's a clear path between the building and the vegetation. There should be a clear path of at least 12 inches, if not 18. Again, got weeds growing back there. They'll be sprayed. Some of these we're probably gonna have to pour some kind of sealant in there. We are cutting, getting rid of all the weeds, clearing it away from the building, getting it to the this is almost good, to the inside of the property line. We're on 694. It should have the letter replaced. For fire department's probably not going to be hips looking cool with that letter being gone. That could be a separate quote, but I can get that done if necessary. Cut the veggies down to the window. Get the power boxes clear on this one. Again, a lot of vegetation growing up out of the floor. Get it away from the wall. This one's not too bad. I'm not even sure if this tree's even supposed to be here. That's kind of nonsensical location for a tree. Debate whether we remove that or not. For now, we're not going to remove it, but it's like like I said, it's probably not supposed to be there. I'm not sure if any of this is supposed to be there. There's rocks under it. It's not supposed to, because rocks were laid down to replace, to make the cost of maintenance easier. This one's actually not in really super bad shape. Back here, this is kind of what we want these back areas to look like, so it doesn't attract taggers and thieves and stuff. Wow, again, we're looking at a massive amount of vegetation here. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to get through that, but massive amount of vegetation on the next unit. Cut it away from the dumpsters, be able to walk around the dumpsters. Cut back to the edge of the concrete. Again, cut away from the dumpsters. We're now to the next unit, 96. Cut away from it. Okay, now we can actually get to the other side. I don't think this vegetation is supposed to be here. 90% sure this is supposed to be removed. Until I'm told to remove it, though, it'll just be squared up. Tell how bad that was. Yeah, this has a significant amount of area there. You see, this one is really bad all the way to the, not so bad here, but down near the end, it's has to be cut back and removed quite a bit. Again, not planting anything new. Trimming up what's here. Stopping vegetation from growing through the cracks. Cut the bushes down below the window, and have at least 12 inches away from the power box at all times, to the inside of the curbs. This one looks like it was dealt with in the last month or two, except they missed things like dealing with the weeds growing out of the cracks and clearing away the fire equipment. Looks like they squared that one up a little bit. Again, get it down below the windows and away from the wall, so there's a path to skinny by. This is 96. Cut it down to the window level, uniform all the way across. Get rid of stuff growing from the cracks. Get the weeds out of the existing bushes. I am going to make the assumption, pretty safe assumption, that this is a weed, and anything that looks like this will be removed before they flower. We hope. Cut away from the wall to the inside of the curb. This is the front-facing unit, opposite hanger. Clear away from the fire equipment. This is cut to the inside, almost all the way around. Make it so the tree doesn't encroach on the roof. Might be a fire code against that Norco. They are pretty freaking weird about it. Been there, done that one. Not replacing any of the dead ones unless separate quoted and someone picks out the plants. Cut away from the power box, just cut way back. A lot of vegetation being removed. Clear any vegetation from the inside of the dumpster areas. Kill all the weeds there. And that is it. I'll work up some kind of quote.